There have been conversations in the Percy Jackson fandom for a long while about what would have happened if Annabeth had been the one who'd been kidnapped and sent to Camp Jupiter. And let's just say I disagree with many of the consensus that the fandom has had, because I don't believe that Percy would destroy Olympus trying to find Annabeth. Now, I can already hear the angry fans coming my way. They don't like me already, so this is just going to be another thing to not like me for. But I have a lot of reasoning behind why I don't like this theory that if Annabeth had been taken, Percy would have gone to destroy Olympus trying to get her back. And the reason is because we already know what Percy would do. So let's just dive into this a little bit more, and I'll lay out my points for why I don't believe in this idea, and sort of counteract some of the things people have brought up as their reasoning for why they do believe in it. So first things first, I'm going to start with the things that people usually use to suggest he would do this. And it is usually relating to what he does in Tartarus. Now, Percy, we know, does have some possible rage issues, and honestly they are justified in many ways because the gods have screwed him over more times than I can probably count. I know he will definitely struggle counting as well because it's basically a recurring theme. And in Tartarus, with everything else that's going on and all the horrible things that they've been through, he finally loses his cool and nearly drowns a goddess, and that is terrifying. He's basically like blood-bending, water-bending, killing someone. And Annabeth is terrified. We as an audience think it's cool, but it's also kind of terrifying to see Percy reach this level of I am done. And that is usually what is asserted for why they think Percy would go this extra length to basically try to destroy Olympus because of Annabeth being missing. And honestly, I can half see why. We see the lengths he goes to protect the people he loves and cares about. And with Annabeth, there is this now added layer of there is romantic love in relation to their bond. But even still, I don't fully think that example, and even all the other ones of him fighting hard and, going after people for hurting those he cares about, would lead to him going this far. And the reason why is because Percy isn't stupid. Percy is insanely intelligent, even if it's not in the intellect way that we see with Annabeth. He is common sense smart, even if he is dumb when it comes to girls, for example. He has this level of common sense smartness that I think would lead to him knowing that going after the gods would be a death sentence. Now, people like to talk about how Percy is insanely strong, like he took out Ares, he's gone up against giants, he's gone up against primordial beings, and yeah, he has. It's a bit overpowered and honestly kind of not great writing, but that's a conversation for another day. But even still, 12 Olympians and possibly many minor gods against one demigod. He would be dead before he even steps foot on Olympus. And I think he would know that. He would know that going up against multiple primordial beings, really, he would not stand a chance. And him putting himself at risk guarantees that Annabeth would never be found. Obviously, we know she would eventually, but in his mind. So I don't think he would be stupid enough to basically go up and attempt to challenge the gods for answers, because it would go nowhere. He's rash, but he's not stupid. And even with that in mind, we've seen the levels that he has gone to in the past. Titan's Curse is the biggest example of the lengths that he goes to find people he cares about. And that's the evidence of what he would do to find Annabeth. I know obviously they weren't a couple at that point, but I still think that is exactly what he would do. He would go above and beyond, yes, breaking rules as he did in Titan's Curse with, the prophecy, and it was only meant to be 5, but technically he made it 6. He would do anything and everything to be the one to go and find Annabeth. He wouldn't be doing, insane level things like challenging gods to get answers. He would be on the ground searching for her. Finding answers is anyone that he can ask and anyone he can demand information from on the ground. He wouldn't send himself far away up into Olympus when he is meant to be finding Annabeth. He has a direction and he would be using it. And he knows from the past as well that acting out and, challenging gods, if anything, it's just going to make things worse. He's seen what happened to Annabeth when she pisses off Hera. She's then been cursed basically to always find cow poo to step into. He knows that going after the gods is just going to make things worse, if not for him, for Annabeth. And Percy loves Annabeth. He wouldn't risk any chance of her receiving the repercussions for his actions. And as much as people believe, he isn't as powerful as a god. He nearly burns up on Poseidon's chair. He can't go in planes for fear of dying. The wrath of a god is a very powerful thing, and the wrath of 12 Olympians, well, he'd probably never make it back. And like I said, he just wouldn't risk anything that would jeopardise his chance of finding Annabeth. And honestly, him and Annabeth, I know Annabeth doesn't have these insane powers like Percy does, but what Annabeth does in Heroes of Olympus to try and find Percy, I think is the exact same thing that Percy would do as well. He would do everything in his power on the ground. He would follow every clue, every direction, every message, every hint to find her. He wouldn't go out of his way to do stupid things because he wouldn't risk the chance that those stupid things would lead to him missing a clue of finding Annabeth. And it's just kind of weird to me that so many people think that Percy would basically do so much more than what Annabeth does in Heroes of Olympus. Because they are the same, they care about each other at the same level. Just because he has powers doesn't mean he would do things differently. If anything, all it would just mean is that he'd use the ocean a lot more to try and find answers. And no, it's always been weird to me that people think that Percy would tear Olympus brick by brick to find Annabeth or find answers about where Annabeth is. As if Annabeth also wouldn't do that as well. But both of them are smart. I mean, hell, Annabeth could do it. She built Olympus. She would know the small pressure points to destroy the whole thing to get answers. But she doesn't. She uses what she has to hand to get her answers. And Percy would do the same thing, just like he did in Titan's Curse. But what do you guys think? Do you think Percy would actually go and try to destroy Olympus to find Annabeth? Or do you think he would just do the same as Annabeth, of be on the ground to find her, to do everything in his power to find her and not be reckless? I don't know, I'm intrigued to see what people here on YouTube think about this, because I swear it's definitely mostly Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. So maybe YouTube's Percy Jackson community is a little bit different. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on what Percy would do, because I'm intrigued, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. As always, thank you all so much for tuning into this video. I truly do appreciate it. If you can, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. Drop a thumbs up, a comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff. If you can support me on Patreon, by the way, be sure to do so. That is linked in the description box as well. You can also pre-order my novel Home to the Wild, which is coming out in 2 months' time. Oh my god! But if you can't do any of that, don't worry, just hit subscribe. That's all. If that's all you can do, that's all that matters. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.